We do have breaking news. The Cleveland Browns, this is according to Adam Schefter, the Cleveland Browns and their second-round pick, Quinshon Judkins, reached an agreement today on a 4-year, $11.4 million deal that now means all 2025 draft picks have deals.
That is pretty big news, I would say.
So the day before the first game of the season, Judkins finally returns. It doesn't say if it's guaranteed or not. I know that was a big thing that they were fighting about.
I read it was fully guaranteed.
Fully guaranteed? It's not in the initial tweet.
Never mind. I take that back.
By the way, social media reactions brought to you by Shabbat Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store.
Or no,
I like how you did
Ian
that
Rappaport from NFL Network does say it is a fully guaranteed deal.
All right.
So he got all his money, which makes me think that maybe a suspension is unlikely from the NFL.
Well, what was the holdup? If this were like...
I mean, maybe...
Was that what it was? Is that the Browns just needed confirmation from the NFL that he wasn't going to get suspended? I mean, why is he sat out all this time if they were just going to end up getting the same guaranteed deal that he wanted?
All signs point to they were waiting for the NFL to sort of investigate or look into the situation or figure out what they were doing, essentially. And I don't know, maybe they finally got some clarity on that. It's been weird because normally like there's some reporting done even from like conversations with league officials on like, where's this at? What's happening? And there was just none of that.
There was zero.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Everybody that people asked throughout the week, do you have an update on Quinshon Judkins? Week after week after week, it was, no, I have nothing. We're waiting for the legal process to play out. So was it too much to ask for some statement by the NFL to say we've concluded that, there will be no suspension? Or like, are we just now?
I don't know if they do that for like every single thing. I think it's just like conversations with the league and the team. I mean, ultimately, like it maybe wouldn't have mattered if they'd given him fully guaranteed because I think that might have been what they were waiting for. Because like if he gets suspended, your guarantees are voided anyway, and so unless that's part of the contract here, like unless they added some language that allows for if a suspension does come down, he still gets his fully guaranteed money, and maybe that's the change that was made. I don't know. We don't know all those details, obviously, right now, but all we know right now is from Ian Rappaport that it is fully guaranteed, like those picks that were around him, and also got fully guaranteed deals. So
he added the NFL,
wait is over.
He added the NFL is still conducting its investigation.
Okay, well then there you go. I didn't catch that bit as we were sort of scrambling to announce this year, but. If that's the case, then maybe there is language in there that he's not going to lose any money if he gets suspended potentially.
So we were talking about it last week of even if he's signed this week, and I said yesterday I'm surprised that leading into week one, and I think everybody was looking at the roster cut down day and then the day that they cut Pierre Strong as sort of indicators as to when this Judkins thing was going to get resolved. I'm stunned it took until the almost 11th hour before week one.
The timing is crazy because it's literally the day before the season starts. And you would have thought if this was just going to end with him getting signed anyway, you couldn't have worked this out like a week ago and maybe got him ready for this. Because that's the other thing is he's not expected to obviously play tomorrow. There's just no way that would have ever been possible. They can probably get him ready to probably play next week in some capacity, but is he going to be like the lead back? Who knows? I mean, I don't know. The timing of it is crazy. The fact that we really didn't have a lot of updates along the way is crazy. The fact that the investigation is still going on remains to be seen. If he will face a suspension is an interesting wrinkle to all this. And if they were just going to give him guaranteed money anyway, it is weird that they couldn't work that out sooner.
But again, and I get that you need to let the NFL's investigation play out. And I don't know. I guess the legal case down in Florida was done once it was thrown out, right? I'm guessing there wasn't any other
legally,
updates from that.
It was done. There was going to be no file. There was going to be no charges filed within the courts were not going to press charges and bring it to trial. So
in that case, it has been done for a while. You're just waiting on the NFL.
I mean, what was it, mid-August?
Yeah,
that got resolved, and you were just waiting on. What's also, it's interesting because every time we asked Kevin Stefanski for an update, he did the classic Kevin Stefanski thing where he just said no update at this time.
Can't talk about it.
And so I think yesterday, like, nobody even really bothered asking him if there was an update because it was like, well, we know what he's going to say. He's just going to say no update. And like, what good is that going to do us? Like, we're just going to get the same thing we've been getting. And now I'm kind of like, should we have asked? And maybe he would have had an update and been like, we'll have an update for you tomorrow. Like, that would have been, oh, okay. So something must be happening. And then like there could have been some reporting going on. But yeah, weird situation all around. It's obviously rare that a player takes this long to sign. But there are football implications from this because there have been a lot of questions asked about, well, how good can the Browns run game be without Quinshon Judkins? What's this room going to look like without him? Can they stay afloat? Blah, blah, blah. And I've argued, like, for tomorrow, for example, their offensive line is veteran enough. I think Jerome Ford is good enough that you can sort of figure this thing out for a week at least. But if you're getting Quinshon back week 2, or if it even takes them a little bit to kind of get going, yeah, like you can survive a couple weeks without Quinshon being like fully integrated. And then by like week 3 or 4, if he's there, have him be your lead back. And so, yeah, this does change the outlook, I think, for the run game in general. Maybe not for tomorrow specifically, but I don't know that you're worried about that against the Bengals anyway because they were getting gashed for like 10 yards a carry in the preseason. But, yeah, this does change a lot in terms of the Browns' identity, especially offensively. We've all felt like with Quinshon out there, this can be a strong suit for them again, and they can get back to the basics of that. And so it'll be interesting to see how quickly he can get up to speed and get used because they absolutely need him out there. And this is supposed to be the bread and butter of what they do offensively.
Quinshon, if you were talking about excitement level going into the season, like how much
does that impact it now?
I think it does because a lot of what I was thinking about with the offense was you need a strong run game. And, there's been conflicting reports on how Dylan Sampson's done. At the end of the day, he's a 5th-round rookie. So you can't expect too much from him. And we've seen a couple of years of tape from
another 5th-round pick that everyone's expecting the world from. So.
True, touche. But a 5th-round pick that was supposed to be a 5th-round pick, I guess.
It's funny how those narratives are different, though, right? Like one's like 5th-round pick. He needs to start immediately, and then the other one's like, he's only a 5th-round pick. Like, give him some time. It's okay. Like, it's okay that Dylan Sampson isn't like an elite back.
He can't take the lion's share of carries already. But for me, there was a massive question mark without Quinshon because you're depending on 2 backs that have never been in the RB1 role for a 17-game season. I know Ford cycled in there a little bit, especially when Nick Chubb went down, but having him back, that definitely, depending on what he looks like, that really does make me a little more confident in just the offense running on time, doing the wide zone scheme that they were talking about, getting back to Kevin Stefanski's offense. Quinshon was a massive part of that. The only question now is, like, when does he get up to that RB1 role? Because he's not going to play this week. Next week, he's going to get 5 carries. I was going to say, I got to think, like, next week, it's like a running back by committee. He gets worked in. Maybe he starts the game and he gets a few carries, and then but they're rotating him. I don't think you're going to get like the full picture of like what his workload's going to be like on a normal Sunday next week because he's only going to be a week into his training or getting, integrated into the team after missing all of training camp. Like, it's just going to take him some time, but I'm assuming he'll play next week in some capacity. We'll see. But yeah, I like as we sat here and opened the show talking about like the excitement level around this team, I think this should, and again, I get tomorrow's tomorrow, he's not going to be out there, but this should, I would think, inject some excitement into the season a little bit because he was one of these rookies that people were absolutely excited about. And that was going to be the next part of this conversation anyway. It was like, what is there to be excited about around this team? And is that part of the reason why people maybe aren't as hyped up as usual because they're looking at a team that has a lot of flaws and there are a lot of unknowns and a lot of questions, and they're like, well, hey, what are we supposed to expect from this team? But I do think the rookies are one of the things that should get people excited about this year. It's Carson Schlesinger and what he's shown you in training camp in the preseason. Can he be the heir apparent in a way to JOK if JOK is never going to play again and be that dominant linebacker? Is Mason Graham going to be that force up front that helps Myles Garrett out? Is Harold Fannin and how much they use him in the offense in different ways? How much is that going to, how impactful is he going to be? Can one of these quarterbacks emerge, right, as the potential starter, franchise guy?
And I think Quinshon was one of the biggest that we highlighted. I loved Quinshon coming out of Ohio State. I said he reminded me a lot of Kareem Hunt with the way that he runs. I felt like he was going to be great for this offense, and what they're getting back to is Kevin Stefanski's system. And I was so excited to see him play. And I said, like, all offseason, my argument was he's going to be the most impactful rookie because they're going to get back to running the football. He's going to be the frontline guy. And then that kind of went out the window because I was like, well, I don't even know when he's going to be here. Now we know. I think, like, whether or not he's there tomorrow or not, this should get people excited about, like, what lies ahead for this team, because you now have your frontline running back that people were excited when he got drafted about seeing him brought in here and be part of this offense back in the fold. And it's just about how quickly he can actually get out there.
Well, just real quick, what you mentioned was, like, with Mason Graham, Carson Schlesinger, as much as we are talking ourselves into those guys, they're defensive players. So, like, the just regular, 537 Browns fan, they're going to watch them a little bit, but you get excited about offensive pieces, especially your second-round running back that was taken, in the second pick of the second round? So, like, that's a very high-end. He was the 33rd overall pick. Right. And he's a guy that went to Ohio State and helped you win a national championship. So, you weren't looking at your highest-rated offensive rookie was Harold Fannin, and now it looks like you're getting Quinshon Judkins back.
Yeah, when you don't have the franchise quarterback piece figured out, I do think it's easy to gravitate towards, like, a star running back or a star receiver if you have it. And so now you kind of get the hey, there's a rookie running back that we're really excited about, and we get a chance to watch sooner than we thought he'd be here by now, but, like, sooner than maybe we were anticipating when the season was going to begin, and he still wasn't signed. And so I think this is a good thing for Cleveland in a number of ways, but also should maybe get people looking forward to what's to come with this run game and this offense in the weeks ahead. Maybe it's a little bit different for tomorrow.